Welcome back, fellow mobile gamers of YouTube. Today I will be sharing the 3 best mobile RPGs and shooter games that I played last week, spending just about a minute per game to give you a quick introduction. Before we get started though, if you'd like more mobile gaming goodness, then be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, as I've got lots of awesome videos coming up that I think you're gonna love if you're into mobile gaming. Now in today's episode, we'll go through a new multiplayer arena shooter, a unique action dungeon crawler RPG, and a polished hero collector RPG with an interesting real-time combat system. And to kick things off, I figured we could start with Hellfire, which is a multiplayer arena first-person shooter that draws inspiration from old PC games such as Quake 3 Arena and Unreal Tournament to create this really awesome, dark, gritty, high-intensity 2 to 8 player shooter experience with no pay-to-win elements. Sounds pretty awesome, right? Well, it actually kinda is, and this indie game features 4 deathmatch maps that we unlock as we level up, and when you play the game, all players start each match with the same weapons, while better weapons, HP recovery orbs, and shield recharges are then scattered around the small map. And the first player to reach the kill goal then wins the game. The game has a pretty simple control system with a left side joystick and 2 buttons to switch weapon and quickly dash forward. There are both manual and auto-fire options as well, but personally I think the auto-fire actually gives this game exactly the fast-paced feel it should have. So I'd recommend playing with the auto-fire, but you have the option to switch to manual if that's what you want. The main downsides of this game are that there are just too few weapons and too few players at the moment, the latter of which means we often end up playing bots, unfortunately. However, since we can create our own private rooms in this game, it's just perfect to play with friends, and this is where Hellfire really shines. And there's even a Discord server you guys can join, made by this indie developer, where you can go and find other players to play with. The game monetizes through premium currency in-app purchases that range from $2 to $30 that we use to unlock new vanity cosmetic characters that thankfully provide no gameplay advantages. It requires online access, it takes up 317 megabytes of space, and at this point, the game just needs more players, more content, and a bit more polish to expand on what I think is a pretty solid foundation. But you can check it out already now on Android and on iOS. As always, the download links can be found in the description box down below this video. Next up this week is Drake and Trap, and this is a unique action dungeon crawler RPG where we lead a main character and a team of spawnable heroes through dungeons full of traps, full of chests, full of monsters and bosses in both PvE and PvP game modes. Before heading into the 500 dungeon levels that this game features, we define a deck of 5 heroes that each have unique stats, unique abilities, and a mana cost. And during combat, we then use a left side joystick to control our character, while spawning multiple of each hero by spending mana that recovers over time. As soon as these heroes have been spawned, they will start tracing our main character, and they'll also automatically attack nearby enemies and traps, unless we tap a button to make them passive and just follow us around. The strategy and almost puzzle-like nature of these dungeons force us to constantly switch between aggressive and passive hero behavior to avoid traps and avoid all the strong boss attacks, which creates a fun and engaging gameplay experience. In addition to the normal dungeons, the game also features both a ranked mode and an arena mode where we must finish a dungeon faster than 6 other players who recently played the same dungeon. The game monetizes through incentivized ads and then in-app purchases to unlock and level up heroes faster, acquire high-tier loot, and recover energy. And yes, this means that there is an energy system that limits our play session length, but we get so much energy and premium currency for free through achievements and daily rewards that the game can easily be enjoyed as a free player. The game can be played offline, it takes up 299 megabytes of space, and it's worth checking out if you're looking for a dungeon crawler RPG that you can play for a very long time because of the many levels, and you can even dive into some multiplayer action if you prefer, although of course, if you go into multiplayer, in-app purchases have a bigger impact, and so there is a tiny bit of pay to progress faster or pay to win element in that case. And then, of course, I had to include Illusion Connect as well. This is a polished, team-based gacha strategy RPG with an interesting real-time combat system, and this was actually what really caught my interest initially with this game. It was its combat system, where heroes are spawned on a 3x3 grid by spending mana points that recovers as we play the game. It features everything you'd expect from a gacha RPG, including a large roster of characters, a guild system, quests, lots of daily login rewards, and unfortunately, a shop full of in-app purchases. Although the character designs are, in my opinion, overly sexualized, the cartoony visuals are high quality, and the universe and the events are decently interesting. Now, interestingly, unlike most games in this genre, PvP against friends is actually real-time in Illusion Connect. Unfortunately though, we can only spawn each hero once per battle, so as soon as they're all spawned, we just have to wait while the combat unfolds automatically, and it feels like a missed opportunity that the combat system doesn't allow each hero to be continuously spawned. It would have created a much more engaging gameplay experience, but unfortunately that's not what we're getting here. It is still better and more interesting than most gacha RPG combat systems out there though, and that's why I think it might be worth checking out. Illusion Connect monetizes through an energy system and lots of in-app purchases for premium currency and many other pay-to-win advantages. We do receive a large quantity of free premium currency though through quests and achievements, so the single player content can be enjoyed as a free player. Just don't expect to compete in PvP at all, because you do have to spend some money to properly compete in this game. The game requires online access, it takes up an astonishing 3 GB of space, and while there's lots of content to dive into and a story full of mystery, I would only recommend the most hardcore gacha RPG fans to check out Illusion Connect, so it's worth checking out if that's you, but if that's not you, you're probably just gonna have a better time skipping this game. That was all for today, so I hope you've enjoyed the video and will leave a like on your way out and let me know what you thought about today's games in the comment section down below this video. And then until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.